This is a panel that I made, oh gosh, I'm going to guess probably about 27 years? Yeah, probably about 27 years ago. And had a client that wants me to make a duplicate of it. So I thought I would take this opportunity to show you all how you can create a pattern from an existing panel. So basically, what I'm going to do, take a piece of paper, lay it over this, try to turn off the fan so things don't blow away too badly. And what I'm going to do is secure it at the four corners so it doesn't shift around on me. There. And one more piece of tape. Creating patterns from existing pieces is actually pretty easy to do. It's just time consuming on larger ones that have a lot of intricate detail. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I lost my pattern. I searched and searched and searched and searched everywhere for it, and I can't find it. Now, as soon as I make this, what's going to end up happening, I'll find it. That's just the way my thought works. So, the other reason that you would make a pattern, a rubbing like this, and then turn it into a pattern, is for restorative work. So let's say, for instance, you've got a piece that you've got to pull apart and disassemble quite a bit, and then reassemble. It's going to be important that you have an accurate pattern, and you can't just, if you're really having to disassemble it a lot, you can't actually just figure that, well, you know, it'll all just go right back together and I'll figure it all out. You've got to make sure to get a good rubbing and create a good pattern off of it. You know, that'll help you out a whole lot. So basically, at this stage, now what I'm going to do is come along. I want to get the outside edge just so that I have a perspective here of the edge, and I can shorten this up too, you know, increase its size, whatever I want, but I'm still going to rub that outside edge so I've got what the overall size was. So what I'm using is, you know, just a number 2 pencil that sharpened up, and just kind of rubbing it right along there, light enough that I'm not poking holes through it. Excuse me. I have enough to get the delineation that I need. All right, there we go. So now, you can do this if you have a large enough light table, which I have one, but I wanted to do it like this to show you that it can be done without a light table. But you can put it on a light table if you have like a nice piece of clear glass under it. I have, you know, a light table that's basically 3 feet by 7 feet, you know, with some tempered glass on it, and then my Morton boards on top of that. But I can take those Morton boards off of there and then just lay out artwork and do transfers and things like that. But this would actually kind of help highlight all the lines a little bit easier. But this is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is just feel your lead where that's at and just start rubbing it. Again, I'm just using the side of the lead. I'm not too worried about little blurbles. And yeah, that is a technical term, like that, because it'll all get refined as we go. want to hit the middle of that lead. Get that eye spot. Here's one of the eyes. And that's coming together. I like to lead with one of my fingers, so that way I'm just not, marking up all over the place. And you can see it actually starting to kind of come together. You can actually see what it is. All of this is done by feel. And I can see through this a little bit. You can see that there's some lines, some lead lines under there, but it's pretty much all done by feel. And yes, your finger's going to get dirty. I would almost imagine this is kind of what it's like to do tombstone rubbings, which is something that I have never done myself. I thought it would be kind of neat though, because there's actually some really cool tombstones out there. And when you think about it, some of the artwork that's on there, and then of course the information and whatnot, but especially some of that real detailed artwork, as those degrade, it's going to be lost. Now this old fellow, like I said, is, oh my gosh, probably about 27 years old. Had a couple of breaks in it over the years. It's original zinc actually on it that I put around it. Kind of gives you an idea how it can last. The only thing that I've had to do to it in that 27 years is been, like I say, a couple of little breaks where I just went ahead and put some lead in into the brakes, and the corners, the hangers, ended up replacing those once to strengthen them up, because over time it's going to give. So would it be better to have it with a wood frame? Yeah, absolutely it would. But this is just one of those that I like to have around and not really change up, just to show people, what zinc can do over time. Like I say, he's been hanging around for 27 years, give or take. There's a line here, but I'm not going to put that in there because that was one of the old brakes. And you can rub it into that. The reason I'm doing this is because I know it was a brake, and I'm not going to put that brake line in there. But I'll put a little X over it. But when you're doing one and you don't know what all is what, you should do all of them, because you can always go through and mark anything that you don't want to include. We're getting pretty close here. That part of the news. Thinking that is about it. I should be able to remove this and welcome back, everybody. So I did not realize that my GoPro was set to where it would end on a certain length of the video, so I'm sorry. You did not get to see me actually do this portion. Basically what I did is taking a Marksol Sharpie, I went through and just did all the lineation, the lines there, and just got everything to meet up. I made sure to have the panel where I could look at it and add in anything that I'd missed. I'd missed like the top of that eyebrow, so I was able to just freehand that. There was a piece in here that I'd missed, and what I did was I just laid the pattern over it, got it to where it was lined up, and then felt where that was at, marked it with the pencil, and then did the lineation with the marker. Now what I did in addition was then to do my outside line and the cut line and then the view line. I like to actually do all three. And now the view line I did in pencil. As you can see, it's very faint. And then my cut line are all dashed lines, and then the outside perimeter line is just solid black line. I like to do them that way, so that way I know at a glance that that's my cut line. So if I did two solid Marksol Sharpie lines on the inside, something might happen during the whole process and I could get confused and cut a pattern wrong or whatnot. So it's just a really easy way to tell those three areas apart. Now, at this stage, what you can do is take a pink pearl eraser, or whatever eraser that you have, and you can come along and you can actually clean it up. You can get rid of all the pencil markings in there. Or you could leave them if you wanted to, but I like to always get them all cleaned up nicely. Because now, in this day and age of everybody having a digital camera and all that good jazz, so back in the past, I would just have these all rolled up and I would save them and store them, or put them in a lateral file and store them. But now, I mean, you could take a picture of them and you could get it blown up if you do it right, at the right angle and everything, and so that way the proportion would be right. Or you can at least have it to get something that's pretty doggone close. So you can digitize the patterns actually pretty easily so that you can reproduce them and then even modify them if you want to. But anyway, I won't do all of this, but you get the basic gist. With a little bit of erasing, it looks a lot cleaner. So now this pattern is ready, and probably what I'll do is I'll actually duplicate this once more, so that way I've got a good original that I'll keep archived away to be able to work with in the future again. Because like I say, I guarantee you what's going to happen is I'll get this project finished, and then I'll put this away, and in a week down the road or a few days down the road, I'll end up finding my pattern from way back when. So I hope that this has helped you guys out. I do intend on making more videos, more how-to videos, because there's nothing more frustrating, especially for a beginner, than not understanding some of the more basic concepts and practices that are good practices. Because it's really easy to learn bad practices, and it's really hard to forget them. So, and I'm not saying that I'm right on everything. I look at this, I've been doing this off and on since 1988. I still have a lot to learn. There's a lot of things that I can learn, in this art, this trade. So anyway, though, I'm going to try to help impart what knowledge I have, and you can take it and use it, and hopefully it helps you. Make it your own. I've learned through working at different studios, and I've learned a lot on my own, as well. So it's a good thing to have people share knowledge. Keep this trade, this craft, this art, viable. If you guys have any particular videos you would like to see made, leave it in the comments. And by the way, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, which should be somewhere over there. And give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear feedback. I'm doing this for you all, to try to help out. So let me know what I can do to help you, and I will do my best to do that. Have a wonderful day.